As a defense attorney, it seems like my work is never completely done. There's always another case, there's always another court date. So I thought today being Sunday, I would reflect on some of the good things that happened this past week. I'll start by Monday. Last Monday, I drove all the way down to New Bedford, had a new client who had a warrant out for an armed robbery. Basically, the guy was charged with pointing a gun in somebody else's face, a loaded gun, as he was robbing that person. So the prosecutor, unsurprisingly, asked for my client to be held without bail. Now, I, of course, argued against it, and I was successful. So it was a big deal because the client otherwise would have been held for up to 120 days. And practically speaking, that 120 days often turns into months and months because there's a whole bunch of excludable time under the Massachusetts dangerousness statute. So instead of my client going to jail probably until trial, he walked out, he was able to get bailed out, and he will remain free pending the case. So that was a pretty good win starting the week. And then ending the week, I had a case in the Roxbury division of the Boston Municipal Court. This is a case I'd been working on for quite some time. My client was charged with assault and battery. He was accused of beating up another guy pretty bad enough that the ambulance actually had to come. And after months and months and several court dates, we litigated motions, we filed discovery, we did a lot of things leading up. The alleged victim didn't show up, so the case got dismissed. But it's not as simple as that, because not every lawyer would push their client to go to trial. Had I looked at the facts and said, this looks pretty bad, we don't have much of a defense, we would have just pled out the first date or a couple dates after. But that's not my way. It's obviously the client's decision what to do, but I love going to trial. And so if a client's on the fence, I never encourage them to do a plea. I mean, if they want to plea, they're going to plea, and I'll get them the best possible plea. But by being a good trial lawyer, it also means better pleas, and it means that you win trials, because you're not going to win trials if you don't go to trial. So I take a lot of cases to trial, especially before COVID, obviously. Take a lot of cases to trial, and then sometimes that means that just by being willing to go to trial, putting in the effort, being ready for trial, sometimes an alleged victim doesn't show up and it leads to an outright dismissal. So those are the two things I had going for me this week, the two highlights anyway. Had a whole bunch of stuff in between, and I might keep this up, so maybe I'll see you next week.